Today's inquiry lab is on finding the surface area of triangular prisms. So this is kind of to give you practice on figuring out what a triangular prism looks like when you unfold it into a net, because the net is going to help us find the surface area. So just so you know, every triangular prism has two triangular bases, which in the orthogonal drawing is right here. We've got two of these, and then it has three rectangles going around it. If you think of it like a tent, where the triangles are the front and back of the tent, you have this rectangle on the left, this rectangle on the right, and then the floor rectangle on the bottom. So if we can draw those three rectangles and the two triangles, you'll have your net. So I'm going to show you how to do that in the grid paper down here. So we are going to start, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, because all we need to see is this drawing on the top and our graph paper here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the side on the left, and you have to find the two dimensions. So if you look here, they give us 1. This side is 3. And then you have to find this one going across. Now be careful, it's not 4. The 4 is over here. So the thing is, this is the height of the prism. So this, and this are all the same. And you'll see it has a 6 right there. So that means this is 3 and this is 6. So I'm going to start down here and I'm going to draw a 3 by 6 rectangle starting all the way on the left. So I'll go 6 down. Let me start right about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 3. Okay, so this is my left side here. So it's 6 by 3. Then, let me go back up to the top. I'm next going to start, let me see if I can erase those red lines. Sometimes it lets me do it, sometimes it doesn't. And this time it's not going to. Alright, so I'll switch to blue. This time, it doesn't matter if we want to go to the right or the bottom. You can go whatever one you want to do next. So I'm actually going to go to the bottom. The bottom I'm going to highlight in blue here. And if we look, we have our dimension here. We have 6 and 5. So I'm going to go back down and draw a 6 by 5 rectangle. Now you want the 6 to share the 6 sides. So this is where the 6 has got to go. So we already have that, so then we just have to draw going 5 across. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we know the vertical one is 6 and this is 5. Alright, now I'm going to go up and get my last rectangle. Okay, so I still can't get an eraser. I don't know why it does that. My last rectangle is going to be this one over here on the right. So remember, it's also going to share that 6. I'll switch to black this time. So it has the 6 here and the 6 here. The other dimension is this one, the 4. So this rectangle is 6 by 4. So I'm going to go back down and I'm going to draw that on. Now I already have the 6 on the side, so I just need to have 4 going across the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have my 3 rectangles. Think of this as the bottom of my tent, the left and the right. Now I just need my 2 triangle bases. And if I go up to my triangles, let me switch to another color so you can see a little bit better. Okay, alright. So, and when I look at my triangle bases, I have this side, and this side. And it really doesn't matter which I choose for what, but I like to usually use one of the ones with a right angle here. So if this is 3, remember the 3 is right here, and this is 4, because remember the 4 is right here. So I'm going to do the 3 by 4 somewhere down below, the 3 or the 4. So that means I can either use this for the 3 or this for the 4. So I'm going to actually go with the 4. Now, I still have it on fat pen, sorry about that. Now if I use the 4, then that means the 3 has to be how high it goes. So let's say I go up 3 here. So right here I have my 4 side and my 3 side. Now we don't have to worry about the 5 side because it's just going to be a straight line connecting those. And it sounds like Jack is grabbing one of my computer things. He's a brat. Alright, so I'm going to connect that straight down. Now I'm going to do the same thing down on the bottom. I'm going to go down straight 3 and connect it that way. And there I have my net, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. So now that we have the net for our shape, we have to find the area. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of these 5 shapes here. The 3 rectangles and the 2 triangles, and we're going to add those up. And this should be somewhat easier, as long as you remember for the triangles to do half times base times height. So let's start with this rectangle. 6 by 3 is 18. We'll do the next one. Remember, this is 6 by 5, so that will give us 30. Now if you want to be a weirdo, you can always go back and count the squares, and you can count 30 squares in this, but that's not fun. So the next one I'll do 4 by 6, which is 24. Now the triangles, be careful, because my height is 3 and my base is 4, so it's half times 3 times 4, which is 6. Be careful not to write 12 in there and just multiply the 3 by the 4. That's a big mistake people make. Okay. So now, to find my surface area, I just add those up. And you could use a calculator. I might do a little bit of mental math here. So I have 30 here. This 6 and 24 makes a 30. So I'm at 30 plus 30 is 60, 66, 76, 84. So this should all add up to 84 square, and what were the units up there? Square inches. All right. So now we go to the next page, and we're going to practice this again. Don't easier as you do it. Alright, and Jack is literally right next to me biting his own foot. Alright, that's okay. So now, for these, we only have 2 problems to really do for the rest of this inquiry lab. I'm actually going to do this one down here with you, and I'll let you do this one at the top. Now, before we start the one with number 2, I'm going to change, we don't need to deal with that 3.6, so, because that's just going to make our life harder. So we're just going to change that to a 4. The decimal just adds complication we don't need. Alright, so we are going to start by drawing the 3 rectangles going across, and then 2 triangle bases. So let's start. If I'm looking here, I see this one on the front that's facing us. So I'm actually going to trace that here in black. And that one, if you look at the dimensions, is, got to find the right ones. The bottom is 4, and this height here is the same as the one in the back, which is 4. So this is 4 by 4. So I'm going to start all the way on the left, somewhere kind of in the middle, and go down 4 and over 4. Alright, then I'm going to try to get this one here on the side in red, which we already know this is 4, and now we need to know this is 3. So I have my 4 already, so just go over 3. And my last, I'll change it to blue. Give me a second here. Is this one over on the side. If I look at my dimensions, remember this is already 4. We use that 4 each time, and then the 2 is down here. So that's 4 by 2. So I already have my 4, and I just go over 2. So I have my 3 rectangles completed. And now I just need to get my triangles. Now remember, you want to use, I'm going to switch to another color, you want to use the right angle sides. Do not use the one that does not touch a right angle. So let me get a nice dark color for you. Okay. Okay, so let me trace this triangle here. See the right angle? We either want to line it up with the 3 or the 2 over in our drawing. So I'm going to go, I'll use the 3 here. If I use the 3, I go up 2. Connect. If I use the 3, I go down 2. Connect. And I have my net. Alright. Last thing I'm going to do is find the area of these faces. So I'm going to start with 4 times 4, which is 16. 4 times 3, which is 12. 4 times 2, which is 8. Remember, the triangles, it's half times base times height. So it's half times, the base is 3 and the height is 2. So half times 2 times 3, which is 3. So this one's 3 and this one's 3. Add all those up and you should have your surface area. So you could use a calculator. I'm going to use a little mental math. 12 and 8 is 20, plus 16 is 36, 39, 42. So you should have, total surface area is 42 square centimeters. Alright, so the last one you are going to attempt on your own. So I will give you one hint though why this one's going to be easier. First off, don't worry about the height here. That is 3.5. You can leave that 3.5 because you don't even have to measure that much. If you really want to, you can change it to a 5 or something to make your life easier. But take a look at the triangle bases. See how it's 4 by 4 by, if you look here on the top, it's by 4. Now since it's 4 by 4 by 4, that means that all 3 rectangles are going to be the same, which is going to make your life easier. So I want you to try to draw your rectangles here, here, and here, and then put your triangles on top. Doesn't have to be perfect, but then find the area of all 5 faces, add them up, and see how you do. If you really get stuck, you can watch the video and do it with me, but I'd rather you do it on your own. Okay, go ahead, give it a shot. Okay, so hopefully you gave it your best shot, and I'll show you what you're going to do here. So I'm going to start with my 3 rectangular faces. Notice, it's 4 by 6. Now they all share that height, the prism height of 6. So it's 4 by 6, this will be 4 by 6, and then one in the back, remember the top was 4 here, will be 4 by 6. So you have 3 4 by 6 rectangles. Alright, so I'm going to go down 6, and I'm going to go over 4. That's 1, 2, 3. So they're all 4 by 6. And they're all going to be 24 for your area. I could even write that in now. 4 times 6 is 24. See, I told you that part was easy. Now for the triangle. Now this one, it's an equilateral triangle. It's 4 by 4 by 4. So we're just going to tack that on any one of our rectangles because they all have 4 at the top. So I'll do the middle one. I have 4, and it's going to, the other sides are going to be 4, but watch this. If you mess this up, not a big deal. Remember how the height is 3.5? If you look at the height. So I'm going to go straight up from the middle here, because the height goes straight up from the middle of the triangle, 3.5. So if I go straight up from the middle, I'll go up 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Right there where the arrow is pointing will be the tip of my triangle. So I'm going to put that a dot right there, and I'm going to connect them. By doing that, I have a nice equilateral triangle. I'm going to do the same thing below. I'm going to go down right from the middle. 1, 2, 3, 3.5 will be right there. So I'll put my dot, and then I'll connect them. Again, if your triangles don't look great, not a big deal, as long as you get the area right. So that height is going to be 3.5. If you use a number like 5, well, then you didn't have to worry about that. All right. So now the area of that triangle. Remember, it's half times base times height. Half times the base is 4 times the height was 3.5. And if I do that, I get 7. So I have 7, 7. So if I add up 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 7 plus 7, I should get, well, these make a 72, these make a 14, 72 plus 14 is 86. So you should have 86 square meters. Alright, now remember, this isn't about being the best artist, it's about kind of understanding how the net can help you see all those faces. So tomorrow's lesson will be finding the surface area when we won't have to draw nets unless you really like doing it. Alright, hope this helped. Ask questions if you're stuck. Later.